Hello, everyone, and welcome to our LinkedIn Live today on the 13th. This is part of our Support at Home Readiness series where we will be offering a whole lot of must-have resources and expertise to help you be ready for the support at home transition. Now delayed, coming November 1, but that gives us even more time to make sure that everyone's systems are up and running perfectly. And we're here today to, as I said, provide a little bit of that expertise, looking specifically today into what the claiming will actually look at like. So we do have a couple of points of housekeeping. There is a chat feature for the LinkedIn Live, so feel free to comment any questions you might have, and we'll endeavour to get to those as we go. If not, we will reach out afterwards with those answers. If you do have any technical issues as well, please email Ricky, who's on the screen. We'll introduce Ricky shortly. You can get Ricky at quickclaim.com.au. And the other important thing to note in terms of housekeeping is that we are more than happy to send these slides to you after today's recording. So keep an eye on those inboxes for the slides. So don't feel like you have to be writing copious amounts of notes or anything like that. These slides will be forthcoming. I mentioned introductions. I'll introduce myself first. My name's Tristram. I have been with quickclaim as its content marketing specialist since the beginning of the year. I come from NGS background, so I've worked within the NGS for a long period of time, both as a marketer but also as a participant myself. And the reason why I say this is that the NUS transition will look very similar to the support at home transition. So there's a lot of knowledge I hope to impart with you all today around what that transition might look like, having been through it with the NUS. Ricky, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Hey everyone, my name is Ricky. So I'm one of the sales reps here at quickclaim. A lot of times right now I'm speaking to NDIS providers, telling them how quickclaim can help them with the automation of billing processes and getting some live data back into the systems. I'm very excited to see that support at home is transitioning to a place where it's going to be similar to the NDIS and walk you through kind of what to expect with it as well.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ricky. So we're keen to dive straight in, I suppose. And those who are joining us today will know broadly what the Support at Home program means to them going forward and their business. It is essentially the simple fact that the aged care system should support older people to live at home for as long as they wish, and so, as long as they can do so safely. Oh goodness, it's just jumped through all the slides. I always have technical issues, Ricky, so we'll jump back to, there we go, perfect. So the important statistic, we love the data and stats at quickclaim, is that Support at Home is going to be supporting approximately 1.4 million older people. They'll benefit from the new program, which is an important thing to note within these sort of transitions. That although there can be a number of complexities around the processes that we need to update to ensure that we can work within Support at Home, it will have a really, really key benefit to the people that it's servicing. I also mentioned at the outset when I introduced myself that I come from an NDIS background, and it's important just to reiterate again that the Support at Home transition is similar in many ways to what we saw with the NDIS. So when it comes to the NDS, we saw the sector move from essentially block-funded supports to itemized billing to then delay payments. And this is sort of a very similar transition for Support at Home, except it's sort of going to cut out that middle step of itemized billing and move directly to delay payments. But it does come with a few more complexities compared to the NDIS. Chief among them obviously being the co-contribution care management pool fees. So today we're going to specifically look at the claiming and how that slight difference in the NDIS will play out in real time for you when you do want to submit those claims and those invoices. So I'll throw to you, Ricky, to firstly sort of reiterate what I just said, that support home claiming is rather complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we went through the NDIS change, so like you mentioned earlier, NDIS was originally block funded. You know exactly how much money was going to come into the business. You knew what services you had to provide, how to care for your participants, and all that. Then they transitioned across to itemized billing, and then that created a bit of complexity within the industry already, where the way that they had to roster staff, the way they had to treat the billable data, all that had to change. And then after that, then they introduced Pace, and with Pace, it was a slow rollout over a period of time. Now, what we're going to see with Support at Home is it's going to be everything's going to transition straight away. So everyone that's going to be at the Support at Home come November 1st, is going to transition straight away into that kind of style of billing. So we'll definitely be going through that. We'll be talking through the challenges behind it as well. So basically, these are kind of the main challenges that we're going to foresee it happen, and we saw it happen in the IS side as well. Now, the preparing your data bit, that's going to be hugely important. I know a lot of CRM systems right now have been make the move towards it, to have this itemized claiming available. Now, with that as well, the complexity behind it and potential challenge behind it as well is making sure you've got the right data into your system, so you know how you're going to be rostering your staff, but then also tracking all those itemized billable data as well, and with the right pricing, the right catalogs, all that kind of stuff, which is what we see in the NDIS industry. Then after that, it's about getting paid. Now, this part is going to be even more complicated than what we see in the NDIS, and the NDIS claiming is already complicated enough as it is. So you're going to be able to get a spreadsheet right now. Come November 1st, you'll be allowed to do a CSV upload for your claiming. When you do that submission of claiming, what's going to happen as well is you're going to need to have certain attachments with it so that you can actually make your claim to the portal. Now, post that, you're going to have errors that's going to come in. So understanding how you're going to manage those errors. And then what's going to be even more complicated is the co-contribution piece. So you might have one billable data that you're going to be submitting, but then that can turn into 3 different types of billable data that you need to know how to handle as well. And you don't see that in the NDIS scheme. So that's definitely going to be a huge challenge for a lot of providers out there that haven't kind of experienced that before. Those that do aged care and NDIS would have some sort of understanding behind that change, but it is going to be quite a big change for a lot of people. Now, to add on to that complexity, you're going to have that care management fee. So it's going to be a reduction to the current care management you have. They're going to do it as a pool. So within that pool, how you're going to manage that is going to be very important. So you're going to want to know exactly how much funds is in that pool, how you're dispersing that pool as well, and then and claim for the right activities off the back of that. Now, once we get past all of that stages, you're going to have to be able to issue statements. Now, that's probably going to be quite a difficult piece because a lot of times your CRM system isn't going to go that deep into the finance perspective, and it's not going to really connect up to your finance system where you're going to be generating those invoices for the co-contribution, reconciling the payments that you're actually getting from that claim. And then it's a combination of those 2 data points plus some of the budget data points that you're going to need in order to create that issue of statement that you can send out to your participants as well. So there's a lot of kind of things that's going on off the back of that. Now, just to make it even easier for everyone, you've only got 60 days to claim. So with the NDIS, you could potentially do the service and not claim for a whole year, but still be able to claim it. With the Support at Home, you've only got 60 days. So you really have to be on top of your claim frequency. You've got to be on top of exactly what kind of data that you're pulling into, creating those statements and all that kind of stuff. So these are kind of going to be the main challenges that I'm going to be seeing. And then on top of that as well is the budget utilization. So having data points into it, understanding exactly how much budget is being utilized or underutilized, because if it's underutilized, it's gone forever. And for the quarterly rollout budget, you get $1,000 or maybe 10% of whatever's remaining in the budget to then roll over to the next quarter there as well. So those are all key things that we're going to see as the first challenges that people are going to be faced during this transition phase. But yeah, definitely, if you've got any comments, feel free to chuck it down below. Any thoughts or anything like that, love to kind of get your insights into it as well. Interested if you can get to the next slide.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. We're going to go through about how to actually claim for all of this as well. And, we've done a lot of work with Services Australia, working through the APIs, testing, and also looking at through the documentations of how to actually claim. Now, get to the next slide there. This is a screenshot that we grabbed from Services Australia's pack where it tells you about the CSV upload process. And as we can see here, it is quite complicated, and we'll send across the slides to you afterwards so you can actually zoom in and see each individual step behind it. But when you go into here, before you even get to claim, you've got to upload that CSV. Now, that CSV is going to automatically let you know if there's going to be rejections in there, if you don't have the right information in there, if you need some attachments that's missing. You've got to add all of that in before you can even start the claiming process. Once you've submitted that, then you can get your claim, money comes in, and then from that point onwards, the full claim amount could be, say, $1,000 that you're trying to do. Maybe 50% of that gets covered by the agency, and then another 40% is classified as a co-contribution, which you would then need to generate an invoice and send out to your participants about. And then there might even potentially be that little 10% where it's missing as a potential gap payment. And that's where it's up to the business to decide how they're going to get that 10% back, whether it's from care management pool, whether it's going to be from invoicing the participant, or it's something that they have to write off from their own perspective. Then you've got errors that's going to come into play where you're going to have to fix certain things and understand how to navigate all the errors that's going to come back from it as well. And then go through the whole process and how you're going to track the errors that's going to be happening off the back of that as well. It's going to be another potential challenge for a lot of providers out there. So that's a short little snippet in terms of what that process is going to look like. And then once you've done all of that, you're then going to have to take that data point and then put it into your finance system to generate the statements that you need, potentially even get the data from your finance system back into your CRM system so you can generate that statement for your participants there as well. So, there's a fair few things in here that you're going to have to go through and as you can see, it gets more complicated the more we kind of go down that workflow. But we've created a software that's going to help you automate a lot of this type of process, and definitely love to kind of show you how that all looks. So once again, feel free to write some comments down, ask any questions if you want, send me an email afterwards. Happy to organize a session and we can dive into it a lot deeper and show you what our platform looks like. And then basically that's kind of what we're going to be doing for you, right? Is we've done it for the NDIS before. With last year alone, I think we processed about 1.8 billion, probably a little bit more worth of claiming data and claiming from the NDIS portal. So it's not something we're unfamiliar with. Our core value really is bridging that gap between your CRM system and your finance system and what's going on in the portal, and really kind of having that single source of truth throughout all systems. And we've connected with a lot of systems as well. So if we get over to the next slide there, these are some of the CRM systems we've already pre-built integrations with. There's a few more that's coming as well. And these are generally the main finance systems that we're seeing being used. Once again, all pre-connected there as well, with I think one or two more coming from there. So all of it's going to be API integrations. It's going to be very easy to plug and play for us as well. Cover about 80% of the sector in terms of what software is going to be utilized throughout this period. So, definitely if you got one that we haven't got up on this list and you want to question about it, it might be in our roadmap already. So feel free to let us know about it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ricky. I think we briefly touched on it at the very outset that obviously there has been a delay to when Support at Home will launch. And we'd just like to probably reiterate at the end that this is an amazing opportunity to get your systems ready for the transition. We'd love to know what sort of automations everyone has in place leading up to Support at Home. So feel free to put in the comments where you're up to or whether that CSV upload will be the path that you will be utilizing. So feel free to reach out with us, comment. As Ricky said, he welcomes everyone to book a free demo with him, and he'll happily show you exactly how this process can work to your benefits. Anything else to add there, Ricky?
No, I mean, I'd definitely love to reach out, connect with a lot of people within this industry just to understand what their pathway is going to be looking like, what their roadmap is as well, and see if there's something we can potentially help with. But look forward to connecting with everyone that's here today, and also any questions, feel free to flick me an email. Happy to jump on a call and have a chat about all this. But really appreciate everyone taking time out, having a look at this today, and we'll definitely catch you in the next webinar that we'll be hosting.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks so much, Ricky. Just on that point, hopefully we will have one up within the next 2 weeks. We'll do an even further deep dive into Support at Home. And Ricky mentions an email then. Again, that is ricky@quickclaim.com.au. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time for the next edition of our Support at Home Readiness series. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.